You're back with the crossover with Marlon Jones and Armon Williams.
All right, welcome back to the crossover with Marlon and Armon, KDUS 1060. Subscribe and follow us on our social media accounts on both our YouTube and Facebook pages at the crossover 1060. That's youtube.com/at the crossover 1060 and facebook.com/at the crossover 1060. And we are here live at OTG Sports Grill celebrating Biketoberfest. Folks, if you ain't here, you're missing out. You really are.
Yeah, you are.
Check it out.
Completely.
Yeah. We're here we're here today, this Saturday. It's a festive Saturday out here at the OTG Sports Grill, 801 South Power Road, just north of Southern Avenue and Power Road, Mesa. Once again, that's 801 South Power Road, just north of Southern Avenue on Power Road, Mesa. All right, Marlon, last weekend the Suns were part of a blockbuster trade. We weren't on the air. We missed out on that. I wanted to be,
Yeah, we were on vacation.
Yeah, we had a little hiatus. We were on vacation. Took the weekend off, but we're back, and we wanted to cover this because this was a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a blockbuster deal that included Damian Lillard, who's on his way to Milwaukee, where he's off. He's in Milwaukee now.
Unbelievable.
Getting ready for the season. So they teamed him up with Giannis, the Greek freak. So that's going to be very interesting. But the Phoenix Suns were involved in that trade. And they went ahead and they packaged away, they ushered away DeAndre Ayton, got Yusuf Nurkic, and they got a couple accessory pieces, I guess, to go ahead to embolden, to strengthen, solidify their depth, if you want to call it that. There's a lot of people that would question that move, including you and I. But they got Allen Grayson, they got Nasir Little, and they got some other kid.
Dude, some other kid.
Late first round draft.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all,
Keon Johnson.
I don't know how many guards that the Suns need, first of all, but I said it even a couple weeks prior. The word for today is basketball ball practice, and that's what the Suns did, letting Ayton go for Nurkic.
Yeah, I agree.
I cannot understand and fathom how anyone thinks that's a fair trade.
It's not.
It's not even close to being a fair trade.
A fair trade. You know who else thought it wasn't a fair trade? Thought that it was an absolute debacle of a trade? Bill Simmons. Yeah, Bill Simmons. He questioned a lot the logic behind the DeAndre Ayton trade. And, this is what Bill Simmons had to say on it.
And Phoenix, just quickly to go to them, they're trying to win this year. They got worse. They turned Ayton's money into Nurkic and Grayson Allen and Nasir Little. Grayson Allen, we already know with him, he can't play in playoff series. We saw it in 22. We saw it last year. I heard and read in some places like they got 2 rotation players. Did they? Is Nurkic a playoff rotation player? Is Grayson Allen a playoff rotation player? Because I'm positive he's not. So for the same money that they were spending on Ayton, they got 3 guys that I don't think are going to help them. In 25, the money comes down a little bit to $23 million just for Nurkic and Little, which is $7 million less than Ayton. And then in 26, that money goes up to 25.5. But I don't understand what Phoenix was doing. Why not wait to see if Ayton clicks with Vogel? Vogel has such a good history with centers. He rejuvenated Dwight Howard on the 2020 Lakers. He basically created Roy Hibbert's career in 2013 with the defense verticality thing. I thought he was going to do a good job with Ayton. I'm stunned that they gave up on him. I'm almost waiting for one of those now they tell us stories when that's what Brian Curtis calls them, where like a week after something happens, there's this kind of notebook dump where it's like, here's 7 terrible DeAndre Ayton stories. So maybe that'll happen. But for Phoenix just to be like, cool, we locked this down, man. We got Nurkic. You're trying to win the title. You have KD and Booker and Beal, and like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, and actually the Phoenix Suns they take on more money. A lot of people think, well, this is a salary dump for the Phoenix Suns. They took on a little bit more money for acquiring Nurkic, along with Allen, along Grayson Allen, Nasir Little and Johnson. So it's not like it's not a money dump for them. But as it turns out, Marlon, perhaps there was not a whole lot that they could do. Well, they could have kept them.
They could have kept them.
I wanted them to keep them, but
they should have kept them.
But apparently, according to DeAndre Ayton himself, recently at his media day in Portland, he requested this. This is what DeAndre Ayton had to say.
The GM for the Phoenix Suns came and brought me upstairs and told me that I got traded here, and then that was it. I thank him for handling it the way they handle it, and just accommodating to my wishes. And here we are today.
Yeah, so apparently DeAndre Ayton, he was a little bit fed up and kind of tired with the whatever was going on within the organization.
Can't blame him.
To get to request his trade, and they obliged it, but they didn't get better.
I normally don't agree with Bill Simmons. Not a fan of Bill Simmons.
Okay.
Because because of his Celtics love, his Boston and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But he nailed it, and he actually was almost word for word what you and I have been talking about for the last 2 or 3 weeks when it comes to Ayton and Vogel, and how Vogel is with bigs, and how the Suns fans should be happy that Vogel's here because Ayton is probably going to have a breakout year. We saw what Ayton did this summer,
right,
with the Bahamas national team,
mm-hmm,
how he's improved his game. And the fact of the matter is he's a top 10 center. There's no ands or buts about
without
it.
Without a doubt, he's a top 10 center. You can question whether or not, you can argue whether or not he's a top 5 center.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. But Nurkic?
Yeah. You're talking about a guy that's a little over 13 points a game, less points per game, less rebounds per game, injury-prone history. You have to question whether or not this guy's going to be able to make it through like a 3/4 of a season, let alone half a season without significant time missed. The Suns lineup. What is that going to do to the team's continuity? This is all or nothing for the Phoenix Suns.
It is.
They went an all in. I mean, all the future first round draft picks that they went ahead that they dumped in order to go ahead and acquire Kevin Durant, and then the second round draft picks that they dumped in order to acquire Bradley Beal to play alongside with Devin Booker. This really is all or nothing. I think their window is pretty much this season. It's probably, maybe you can argue that it's a two season window, but it's really kind of more like a 1 season window. If they can't do it this year, and I don't think that they have the talent to beat out the Nuggets, to beat the Clippers, to beat the Golden State Warriors if they're at full strength, and then you got to remember the Lakers too if they're healthy. They're also going to be a threat in the West. I don't know if the Phoenix Suns have cleared that bar to make it past the Western Conference.
Well, not only that, but you're asking Nurkic to take care of Sabonis, Jokic, now Ayton,
right?
What other AD, Cat?
Yes.
That's another thing that the Suns have to deal with is their bigs because didn't they? I can't think of his name, but I'll get back to it in a minute. But yeah, they're asking that's going to be a very tall task for Nurkic to do that.
And Nurkic is not as good a defender as DeAndre Ayton was.
No.
I know DeAndre Ayton, a lot of people question his motor and at times his motivation, but he's a much better perimeter defender than Nurkic ever was and what he ever will be. You're talking about a guy that's 29 years old, a guy that's a history of being injury prone versus a guy that's 25, just barely starting to scrape his prime, somebody that averaged 18 and 10. And a lot of people were disappointed in his 18 and 10, but damn it, he's averaging 18 and 10 for your team versus a guy that you're going to be bringing onto the roster. I know that they don't necessarily need or going to depend on Nurkic scoring a lot of points, but he can't guard the pick and roll.
No.
There's question marks to him guarding the pick and roll.
Right.
Stretch defender.
You're right. And don't forget that 18 and 10 with that 59%, that came as a fourth option.
Right.
That came as not one play being drawn up for him at all.
Exactly.
That came off of him setting picks for Chris Paul, setting picks for Booker, and rolling, picking and popping, shooting from the elbow area. So that's what they're losing.
And losing consistency. Because you're talking about Nurkic, he's about 51%.
Yeah.
Right around 52% field goal percentage.
Less
versus
efficient.
a guy that's like 60%.
Less efficient.
Yeah, far less efficient.
And he's a big that doesn't average a double-double. That itself is a travesty.
He's 13 and 9. 13 and 9.
Yeah, he's older than 29 too. He's almost 31.
Yeah,
he's almost 31. So
I think he's going to turn 30 this season.
Okay,
he's going to turn 30 this season. But yeah, he's on the downtrend of his career
for sure.
And you look at his injuries. He's definitely. He's not dependable.
No,
I don't know if the Suns should really honestly depend on him. Comes down the stretch. They try to go.
They're not going to. That's going to be all on Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
That's who's going to carry the load.
And good luck having. You probably what's your next best option? Bol.
Oh yeah.
That guy's a toothpick. I mean, he's 7'2", 7'3", but he's a toothpick.
And he's been a journeyman for some reason.
He's been a journeyman.
He's been a journeyman. So
he's a good shot blocker like his daddy.
He's not a big. He's not a too big.
He's not a big. He is a tall. He's a very tall, lanky.
He's a small forward at 7'7". That's what he is. He's like Chet Holmgren. He's like the first pick, Victor. Wembanyama. A taller version, a taller poor man's version of Kevin Durant. In that realm, he's not going to post up.
No,
he's not going to mix it up inside. He's going to play the perimeter. He's going to bring the ball up and shoot threes.
And if the Suns they wind up coming up short, which I'm predicting that they do, I don't see them coming out of the Western Conference. I don't know if they can get semifinals, depending on who their matchup is. You're going to probably be looking at and pointing the finger at that acquisition for Nurkic and the crew for Ayton.
We have to look this up, but didn't the Clippers just pick up James Harden?
No, James Harden is still in Philadelphia.
Okay.
We'll probably talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, he's in Philly. They're getting ready to go to Boston to play the first preseason game. We will definitely talk about they picked up Russell Westbrook. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see whether or not Westbrook will be able to fit in with that team and Tyronn Lue's philosophy. If he can, they'll be dangerous. All right, coming up next, it's Beauty and the Beast with Dr. Amanda Jones, exclusively on the Crossover KDOS 1060. We're here at OTG Sports Grill celebrating Biketoberfest. Come and check us out. 801 South Power Road, just north of Southern Avenue on Power Road, Mesa. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.